Hey there gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and today we're talking about the Xbox Handheld because it just leaked full photos of the system itself inside of what appears to be a factory and more details about how it works because this device has been very cryptic. Like, Microsoft acknowledges that the Xbox Handheld exists, but the purpose of an Xbox Handheld that doesn't play Game Pass and doesn't really play Xbox games, even a lot of Xbox fans are kind of confused, even after seeing it, about what the hell is the purpose. But let's get into it. I hope you're having a great day, and if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, they have been very much openly acknowledging this for the last couple months. There's been talks that has been in development, and apparently this thing is coming out this year. Now, there's going to be two separate things that are both an Xbox handheld. Now, first, there's this thing. Oh my gosh, what's this? An Xbox sort of collaboration? This is the device. We kind of saw these teases of it and stuff, but we hadn't actually seen the physical thing. Now, today, they randomly rolled out an update to the Xbox app, if you actually do this on Windows. It now has a clock, Wi-Fi information, and a battery status. So it's very obvious that this thing is pretty much probably going to be basically shadow dropped. The fact that they're clearly making it so that it's ready to go. But let's take a look at the system itself. So, obviously, it's very similar to the Steam Deck. In a lot of ways, some people think that they like these grips more. I will admit that I'm very, very obsessed with my Steam Deck. I've talked about it a lot, and this device is going to essentially be very similar to this, which is a pocket PC. So if you've never played with a Steam Deck, these things are glorious. It's able to basically play every single one of your Steam games, but you can also play a lot of stuff that's on Steam that seems kind of crazy, like Spider-Man. I've been playing a bunch of Spider-Man on my Steam Deck lately, and just even being able to swing around and stuff like that. You can also put emulators on it. Like mine, I've been playing a lot of stuff like PlayStation 1 games in 4K 60 FPS. It's glorious. This is going to be able to do that. The entire series of ROG allies that have already been existed, they're able to run emulators. But you're probably going, okay, what makes this different? What makes this special? What makes this actually an Xbox handheld? Well, for some reason, Xbox themselves thinks this is a good idea. Like, oh, look, it does have an Xbox button. It does have these, basically the standard X, Y, B, A. To me, though, something about this looks kind of clunky. I mean, this right here, the white version definitely looks better, but a lot of people are kind of like, okay, what's the point? Now, I wanted to skip to this Tom Warren tweet. Now, Tom Warren, one of the senior editors over at The Verge, the guy has done a lot of Xbox coverage over the course of the last couple of years that I feel like he is definitely much more Team Green than I am. And I like his takes because he seems to be much more good at taking the temperature of when Xbox is doing stuff that really doesn't make sense. And he just said this, okay, what's everyone's thoughts on the new Xbox-branded Asus ROG Ally? Now, a lot of people are like, okay, so it can't play Xbox games natively. What's the point? Well, this is a Windows device, so it plays Xbox PC games. Now, these two words, Xbox PC, we've actually seen this word kind of let slip a bit recently, which is that apparently Xbox's big plan for later this year and then early next year is that they're really pushing into the idea of selling an Xbox PC. So basically, it's going to be a system that allows you to buy Steam games, to play Steam games, but it's not really an Xbox Series X. It's a separate device. It is basically a Windows PC that is much more focused on the Xbox experience. I have to admit that I don't really think this is going to work. I think the entire idea of taking Windows, which has already been so successful as a PC platform, and then trying to almost reverse port that into a console experience, I just don't really understand why it's going to work, and I feel like normies are not going to be into it. Now, some people would say, okay, but handheld devices like this, micro PCs, these aren't exactly a normie focused device, right? I mean, I guess the people that are willing to buy a $500 handheld and play Spider-Man on it for a full $40 price, this is not people that are exactly walking in off the street. You can't buy a freaking Steam Deck at a Best Buy and stuff. This is not exactly the typical normal casual experience. The ROG Ally and the Xbox PC, they're focusing on that audience, the incredibly niche, hardcore, tech-focused enthusiasts. But it does feel like even those fans, the people that are on Twitter replying to tweets at 9 freaking a.m., even they're like, okay, so it only plays PC games, but is advertised as Xbox, which is weird to me. Since there are plenty of Xbox games, it won't play, so it seems pretty mid. Also, it's dirty. Yeah, I think this is why they're pivoting to the Xbox PC branding, because it's still a little confusing about why they renamed Xbox Game Pass for PC to PC Game Pass. This thing looks horrible, like something off TView. If it can't play Xbox games, then is it even an Xbox brand device? I feel like literally I decided to pull up tons and tons and tons of tweets because I was curious what everybody else thinks about it. I thought it looked terrible, but sometimes, obviously, I'm just one man's opinion. It's interesting that everybody is like, okay, this thing looks terrible, so it's just a new ROG Ally X. Now, the ROG Ally is a good series. I've heard they're very expensive, around $600 instead of the $450 to $550 price of a Steam Deck, but I have heard people say that if you're willing to pay that higher price, you're definitely getting more for it. It is interesting to me that literally everybody is negative about it. It feels like everybody is like, okay, why are we doing this? I want a smaller handheld again, like the PSP or the PS Vita. That would be nice. Isn't it interesting? I have been seeing this specific sentiment a lot, which is that there used to be dedicated gaming handhelds. Like, consider the fact that when you played the PSP, not only did it have good games and stuff, not only could it play PS1 games and stuff, but there were games, like 95% of the library is original experiences, games that were made for the PSP, a lot of times by Sony, by third party, and I feel like we just don't get that stuff as much. And it is weird about the fact that just in general, everything is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Look, I'll admit it. I love the fact that my Steam Deck is so awesome, that the battery is so good, that the graphics are so good. Playing Spider-Man on the screen in my bed natively is incredibly awesome. But let's face it, you can't exactly just put this bad boy in your pocket. You can't just walk out the door. I like playing it, but I have to bring a backpack. I got to bring a carrying case. I do miss the era when we used to actually get a purely dedicated handheld. Now, with these leaked things, once again, a lot of the big Xbox YouTubers are doubling down on the fact that apparently there is still going to be a real Xbox handheld at some point. Apparently, this is part of their new Xbox PC brand initiative, but internally, apparently, Xbox is actually working on making an actual tiny version of the Xbox Series S, but I'm still in a frame of mind where technology, especially battery technology, has not advanced that much in the last 5, 6, 7 years. So my thought is that, look, I love the Steam Deck, but having good graphics comes at a cost. The battery life on this thing, if you're playing something that is actually graphically intensive, not fantastic. Which is part of the reason I've been playing a lot of emulators and stuff on it, is that if I'm playing a PS1 game, the battery life's like 10, 12, 15 hours, you know? Whereas I'm playing Spider-Man, the battery life is about 2.5 hours if I'm playing it with the sound on and decent graphics. My thing is that these things, as good as this Asus Ally is going to be to the 5 people who buy it, maybe, I'm still in that frame of mind where whenever we get the Xbox dedicated handheld, if it's actually supposed to be playing roughly current gen games, if it's supposed to actually be able to play current stuff like Hellblade and Halo Infinite and stuff, I am a bit in the frame of mind where I'm thinking, okay, is the battery life going to be 45 minutes? It's going to have the battery life of a Game Gear. This entire thing, I think, looks like garbage. A lot of people say it looks like garbage. It just doesn't make sense as a product. But even when we do get the good dedicated Xbox handheld here in the next couple of years, I feel like it's going to be too little too late. Nintendo did something smart with the Switch specifically, which is trying to make something as cheap as possible, and even if the graphics weren't that good, it had a damn good battery life. I'm still thinking about the fact that I need someone to try to copy that specifically, which is, hey, how low can we make the cost? How good can we make the graphics so the battery life is still pretty decent? How much can we sacrifice to have an actually classically portable system? Is that even possible in the current ecosystem, or do people just want more games on phones? I don't know. These are just some off-the-cuff rambles. Literally, every single tweet, every single reply, everybody is like, it is garbage. Okay, how do you guys feel about the Xbox handheld leaks? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. Also, it's my birthday today, as I mentioned in the other video today, and I've been getting flooded with happy birthday comments. I appreciate that. I don't know, it's still cool to me, the idea of being a YouTuber and celebrating the birthday with you. It's cool. I don't know. It's rad. Oh yeah, keep dreaming. Did I say it? I think I did. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.